As parents, there's nothing we want to see more than our children being happy, healthy, and thriving. We dream of their first steps, their first words, and even their first day of school. But what happens when those moments don't come so easily? Or when challenges like tantrums, meltdowns, developmental delays, or constant anxiety take their place? It's genuinely heartbreaking. It makes us question ourselves. It makes us wonder, is this my fault? Will they grow out of it? Am I missing something? But I want to tell you, you are not alone, and your child is not broken. But there's something that far too many doctors and traditional providers are overlooking. That is the functionality of your child's nervous system. It can function really well, or it can function not so well. Because here's the truth. Your child's brain, their central nervous system, it doubles in size in the first year of their life. And in the first 3 to 7 years, it's still growing and rewiring itself at an incredible pace. That means that this system, more than anything else, determines how well your child develops, how well they sleep, how well they grow, how well they eat, how well they regulate their emotions, how well they focus, all determined by the nervous system. So making sure that this system is working at full function is the single most important assessment any pediatric provider can perform. And guess what? It's rarely done. Instead, what usually happens is traditional medicine, it waits for symptoms to get big enough to measure. They look at blood work and MRIs and EEGs, and doctors tell parents, don't worry, they'll grow out of it. But parents know better. When your baby cries uncontrollably with colic, or when your toddler melts down for hours, or when your preschooler struggles with speech or coordination or sensory sensitivities, when your school-aged child is battling anxiety or ADHD-like challenges or constant frustration, those aren't things to dismiss. They're signs of a nervous system stuck in stress. When the nervous system is stuck in stress, kids cannot thrive. That's why in our practice, we use an incredible tool called insight scans. It's simple, it's safe, it's so easy to use and to understand, and most importantly, it shows us what's really going on inside your child's nervous system. And one of the most powerful scans that we use is called an EMG, or electromyography. I know, sometimes like technology and neurology can sound a bit intimidating, but stay with me because this can be a life-changing tool for your child. The nervous system is like a two-way street. On one side, you have the sensory nerves. They tell the brain what's happening inside the body and what's happening in the environment around you. On the other side, you have the motor nerves, and they send signals back out. We call those outputs. Those signals are telling the body what to do, how to move, when to rest, how to heal, these types of things. In our office, we communicate these as inputs and outputs. And all of your outputs, everything that your brain does, is dictated upon inputs. So things don't just happen randomly. Your body interprets the environment and interprets the internal environment, and interprets what's going on, and then it controls things based on that. And this system, it has to process signals from 37.2 trillion cells in the body. And it was designed to run faster than 5G. But when stress, trauma, or tension build up in a child's spine and nervous system, the communication slows down. Suddenly, their body is operating at dial-up speed. And that's when you see the challenges. This is when you see things like the autisms, the sensory integration struggles, the ADHD, the anxieties, the OCDs, the gut issues, migraines, headaches, all these symptoms show up. And here's why the EMG scan is so vital. These conditions are often rooted in stuck tension and altered neurological tone. If you ever worked with a pediatric PT or OT or speech therapist, you've probably heard the word tone before. And tone matters, they're right, because when motor tone is off, brain function is off. And when the brain can't regulate emotions or behaviors or learning, it's because the nervous system is running the wrong program. When we run EMG scans on kids, we often see one of three patterns. We see a raging bull, a drunken bull, or a raging drunken bull. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what that means. The raging bull is a child whose nervous system is just stuck on the gas pedal, slammed down, and they're constantly in this fight or flight state, that sympathetic state. But this shows up as like hyperactivity symptomatically, or impulsivity, or anxiety, or kids that have sleep issues. Another category, like I said, the second one is a drunken bull. This is a child who struggles with focus and coordination, communication, and regulation. Their nervous system is exhausted and it can't find rhythm and balance. And then the third category is that raging drunken bull. As kids get older, they may end up in both patterns. They're wired and tired all at the same time. They're anxious but exhausted. They're impulsive but unfocused. And if you're a parent watching this right now, you can probably picture your child in one of these three categories right now. To make this clear and measurable, the EMG uses 3 scores. First is a total energy score. This is showing us how wound up the nervous system is. Too high, and your child is likely like stuck in a sympathetic overdrive. The pedal is all the way down. They're stuck in a sympathetic state. One of the other measurements is called a pattern score. This gives us an idea as to how well the body can regulate and coordinate. You know, that being too low, and kids will struggle with focus, posture, and emotion. One of the other scores is called their pattern score. And this gives us an idea as how balanced the brain is left to right. Imbalances here can mean that they're going to struggle with coordination, reading, learning things, okay? And here's the best part. Unlike a lot of scary tests, these scans don't just show us what's wrong, they actually show us how to make it right. And because your child's brain and their bodies, they're still growing, they're growing rapidly, and they can adapt and they can heal at an incredible pace. And when we find stress and subluxation on a scan and we begin to adjust your child's spine and nervous system, the changes can be seen quickly, not just in the scans, but also in their daily lives. The tantrums will ease, the sleep improves, the focus strengthens, their calm returns, and more importantly, their smile comes back. Parents, I know how heavy it is to watch your child struggle. I know the worry you carry, wondering if they'll ever grow out of it, or if things will just continue to get harder. I really have been there and I've seen it. But I want you to know that there's hope. There's an answer, and it starts with understanding your child's nervous system. In fact, it starts with understanding your nervous system as well. And that's what the Insight Scan does. It gives us clarity as to what's really going on. It's literally a roadmap to help your child heal, regulate, and thrive. And here at The Healing Place, we put together a personalized care plan for your child, because there are no two kids that are the same. And with each gentle adjustment, we'll watch the stress leave their bodies, peace return to your family. The nervous system is truly the mom of the body. It keeps everything running, everything is balanced. But just like mom, it can get worn down and overwhelmed sometimes, and just like mom, with the right support, it can bounce back stronger than ever. So if you're ready to experience the miracle of what happens when your child's nervous system is nurtured and set free, please click the link in our bio and schedule your child's nervous system scan, these Insight scans, because every child deserves a chance to thrive, and your child's story of healing can begin right here.